In our final module, we're going to be talking about how to share content. So up to this point, we've really talked about how we can create content. Now we're going to talk about how we can share it, and then also how we can get shared content. So the first thing we're going to dive into is Commons. Commons is this place where content from Canvas is shared with other users. That can be at the state level, that can be at our district level, it can be at a national level with any user in Canvas. So I'm just going to go over to Commons real quick so we can take a look at it. It is located in this blue sidebar on the left hand side, and you'll see it Commons. It'll always show up there. Now keep in mind this is a repository, so you have to know what you're looking for specifically in order to find it, because it says I have 120,000 plus results. So let me just type in I want something for the Civil War. And then you'll notice I have several different things. I have modules, I have quizzes. You know, if I keep going down, I have kind of this mixture of things. I have an assignment there, but let's say I want to go through and filter out just for a quiz. I'm just looking for a quiz. And let's say I want this one. Now, before I really know if I want it, I'm going to have to preview it. And up until this year, we haven't really been able to preview. That was kind of a shortcoming of Commons, but now you'll see I can preview exactly what that quiz is, or any content. It'll do the whole course, and I can preview it. Before I go to import it, let me just show you a few things. If it's something that I know I'm going to want to add to multiple courses later and I want to save it, I can add it to my favorites. It'll just make it faster for me to go through and get to. Also, let's say I want to send this to one of my colleagues. Maybe they would be interested in this. I can copy the link and send it directly to them. And then it takes them to this resource. So it makes it a fast and efficient way to go through and share a resource that you found within Commons. In order to get it into your course, we just have to click this import/download button. I can choose to import this into all my courses, although I don't think that's going to be helpful for everybody. Let me just go through and I'm going to import it into my crash course. Once I do that, it'll take a few minutes for it to import, and then it will be in my course. It is one thing to note exactly what you're importing though, because that'll just make it faster to find. And let me show you why you kind of need to know whether it was a quiz, an assignment, or something like that. I'm going to go into my crash course, and nothing tells me that content's been imported or anything. So I would have to know to go to quizzes so that I could see that assignment. So right there it is, Civil War to Civil Rights. I noticed it's not published, so let me just go ahead and publish it. And then let's say I wanted to add this to a module. What I'd have to do, I can't do that from here. I'd have to go to modules and then add that into the module. Let's say I want to add it to my last one. It makes it pretty easy because I know it's a quiz and I know it's that name, and done. Now I've organized the exact quiz that I imported, and I didn't even have to create it. So it makes it a really efficient way to go through and add these things. Now, with Commons, I also have the ability to share things to Commons. So let's say I wanted to share this whole module to Commons. Commons allows you to share a whole module, a course, even down to the individual piece of Canvas, whether it be a discussion, a page, even a file. So I'm just going to click the three dots, and I can do that really anywhere. I can share to Commons just for the assignment, or I can do the whole module. Whenever I go through to do that, it'll tell me some information that I need to set up ahead of time. It'll let me pick who I want to share it with. Some people do only me, but I question how helpful that is because you already have access to your content. So if you're only selecting you, then it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense because you already have access to it. I'm just going to select all Stanly County schools. That means anybody in Stanly County schools would have access to what I shared into Commons. Now, I can also go through here and select North Carolina Canvas users as well, if I wanted everybody in North Carolina to have access to it. Now, I'm going to go down through here, and anything that has an asterisk, I have to fill in. So I have to make sure that some of these things are kind of correct when I'm looking at my assignment. If I need to change the title of it, I can change it here. I need to give a short description. Tags are meant to help things whenever you're searching. So it's information that's encoded within that. So if I wanted to say that this was for Nearpod, or if I wanted to say it was for social studies, I could put it in as a tag and then it would show up. I have to include an image. Now, when I click here to change it, I can search on Unsplash. It's just a free image search site. It's one of those things that I would personally suggest that you just find the image that you want to use ahead of time and then save it to your computer, as opposed to trying to search this. But it still does work, and it will pull back in results that you can use based on exactly what you typed in. So, you know, whether it's math or the content, you can use that. Just know that this isn't a filtered image search, so you may see things that you find inappropriate, but if you see that, I would not suggest using it for a K-12 course. Keep in mind that this is not just a K-12 product, it goes all the way to higher education and beyond. So really this service right here can pull back really image from anything. I'm just going to hit cancel for the time being. And then make sure you select the grade level. This will be important so that it's easy to find something. Let's say I only wanted it to be a 6th grade content. That means whenever I go through there to filter by grade level, it will pull this one up, and then it kind of helps people decide whether they want to import it. Once I've done all the necessary things, I hit share, and it will be there for others to import. You can send them the link if you want. We can include links in Google Docs or other things for people to import, but that's how you can go through and share content into Commons for people to import into their course. Now, there is another way to share content with users, but keep in mind this is a way to share individual items, not whole courses or whole modules. And let me just go to an individual assignment so you can see it. Let's say I wanted to share this content with another user. All I have to do is go over to the 3 dots, and you'll see send to. And this is a direct send, so I can start typing in their name, and it should pull up teachers with that name. Once I do that, I hit send, and then they get a notification in Canvas that content's been shared with them. But like I said, the limitation is this is for individual items. So if you're talking about a quiz or an assignment, it works out great. I mean, it makes it very fast and efficient to share things with other users within the district without having to put it into Commons. Now, if you're thinking I need to put in a whole module, then you need to use Commons. Now, in order for users to access the shared content, they'll get a notification bubble by their account. They'll also get an email saying that content's been shared with them. Now, once they're on the account, you'll see shared content. And from here, I can go through and see this shared content. So I can either preview it or I can import it directly into my course, and then that's that. So those are really the 2 main ways that you can share content. The final way that I want to talk about is how we can share a whole course really outside of any of these processes or back up a course. When we're in our course, let's say that I want to back up my entire course because I just kind of am paranoid about where this is going to be. I've done a lot of work. I want to make sure my content's going to be there. I can do a course export. And when I do that, I hit a create export, and then I'll be able to download these links. So this one I did 11 minutes ago. I can click on it, and it saves an export package from my entire course. Now, with that said, this file type cannot be it can't be opened just on your computer and you can see content. It has to be uploaded into a learning management system. But that file type is fairly universal in the sense of it can be uploaded into numerous other learning management systems. So that's the good part on this end, is that it can be used in a lot of different systems. Also, you can send this file to another user and they can import it into their course directly. I think Commons is probably easier to share, but it gives you another way to have content. Also, if you're looking at how do I get content in from another course that's mine, I can choose this import existing content. And what I'll do is copy a Canvas course, and I can go through and choose the course that I want to import content from. I can select specific content, or I can just say all content. So these are just a few ways we can share content and move content from one course to another. It's by all means not the only ways you can do it, but either through Commons or direct share, those things are ways that we can easily help each other out and make resources available to other users.